So hi everyone, I have a camera problem this week, so I'm gonna make a narrative film for you this week. So in the past I've presented you Elon Musk, the CEO of SpaceX, that want to send human on Mars. So today we're gonna take a look at this more in details. How does he want to send a human on Mars with a big ship like this one? A starship, not a spaceship, not a starship. We're not there yet. So with the spaceships, he want to send 10,000 people on Mars to make it livable for the humanity. How can we do this? Elon Musk had on Cape Canaveral in Florida, he have a space launcher site from the NASA. So he sent many rockets in the sky from 2003. As you can see on this picture, the first model that is on far left was really tinier than the actual size of the rockets that he built. That is the last one at your right. Elon Musk had many problems with his rockets because he have some failure. I will talk about it in a minute. But first I want to show you what is the actual size of the rocket. So on the ground, in the background, you can see lights, big lights that is used on a football field. When you go to a football or a soccer game, you have really big lights on each corner of the field. Well, those lights are the same, but look the size of the rocket, and this is not the rocket that will send people, it's the rocket with only equipment on it. So the rocket with the people in it will be even bigger. So the rockets have been launched from 2003, and there have been many failures. The three first rockets explode or didn't came back. But what is the goal of Elon Musk is it was to create some rockets that can came back, because it's really expensive to build new rockets every time. But finally, around 2008, he succeeded to create rockets that can be land back on the ground. So what you can see on the picture now is the rockets that propels the ship during the takeoff, and when they are empty of the gas for the initial propulsion, they are coming back on the ground, and they have a last fuel gain to land on the ground safely. You just have to refill them. Elon Musk has even built new landing ground, but there's no ground. They are on the ocean because it's really less dangerous for the people and for the buildings around them, because there's none. But there's still a problem with the landing zone on the ocean. It's that if there's a failure, the rocket can land in the ocean, and it's a lot of pollution this time. Here I show you another rocket. It's the actual rocket. On the left of the rocket, in front, you can see three little figures. They are humans. So look at the size of this rocket. It's absolutely mind-blowing how big they are. They are the new generation that Elon Musk want to land this year and next year to send equipment on Mars. In that same idea, he have shown the Dragon 2. Dragon 2, that is a space module where the humans will be, because he have already hired a team of around 8 to 10 people to go to Mars in 2024. So the people will be in those capsules, and during the journey to Mars, they will have more space in the rocket, but when they will be landing on Mars, they will be on those Dragon 2 because they need a safe place when they land on Mars, because they will have to build some the first hideout of humanity. So the capsule will be little homes for a start. they know that this is a one-way journey because we don't have the technology yet to take them back home on Earth, but they are really pioneer for humanity in this journey to Mars. If you have seen the movie The Martian too, you can see that image really look like the movie, because it's really a realistic movie. So if you didn't saw it, I really recommend you to check it out. We have an idea too from the SpaceX program. It's a collaboration with the NASA from the USA. Of what will the life on Mars will look like. For an example, you have a 3D image, a 3D picture of what will look a house will look on Mars. It's made from ice that they can found on Mars itself. I will talk about it in a minute. And you can see it's really an hard way to live, because you can go out without a mask and a full suit, and you have a rover of the vehicle on the right that looks like, one more time, the film The Martian. What will be the first defy for the scientists that goes to Mars? It's to survive, to feed themselves. So actually, for 2 or 3 years, SpaceX send rockets with equipment on Mars. The first equipment that is sent is for plant houses, because they're gonna need to grow some vegetables and food. This is the first step to be able to live on the planet. So this is really a big step, because if they can't build the greenhouse, they will be starved to death. Last year, what is the point with the Tesla? Last year, Elon Musk sent his own Tesla in space. Look at that view. It's absolutely incredible. Don't panic in the dashboard. Why Elon Musk sent his own Tesla in space? In fact, it was a test to see how an object can be propelled into space, into orbit around Mars. So he sent his own Tesla with a lot of cameras and equipment that send info on Earth for them to analyze. And it's a way to look if we can send object, but with less cost, because we only have to to give them an initial push, and then they go in space by their own speed. So how can we go live on Mars? This is the main question. As you can see on the picture here, on Mars we found water, but not in a liquid form. We found ice. This is the North Pole of Mars, and there's 2 ways to melt the ice on Mars. The most intense way, I will say, is to nuke nuclear bombs on Mars. So the heat and the explosion itself will melt the ice into water, and the pollution from the explosion will create an atmosphere that will make possible to breathe eventually on Mars. This is really a drastic option, because I remember you that with nuclear weapon there's nuclear wave, and it's really not good for the health of the people and animals. So if we want to live on a planet, we may not want to make it a waste from the start. The more long-term idea is to create some industries that will pollute, because with pollution, with the CO, dioxide carbon, we can create an atmosphere just like on Earth. We have a problem with that on Earth with the climatic changes, but to create an atmosphere on Mars, it could be an idea, but once more, it's a weird idea to pollute, to go live there. So there's many people those days that are thinking about other options to create an atmosphere on Mars. I'm not a specialist about it, so I will go no further on that point. In a long-term view, so what is the goal of create an atmosphere is to terraform. Terra, it's Earth, so our planet. Terraform, it's make Mars like Terra, like Earth, so we can live on it, as you can see, from left to right. This is a really long time planning, because you can imagine that a dead planet can support life from in 1 year, but in the long term it's really credible that we can do the same thing to Mars that it have happened on the planet Earth. You can see on this picture, we know where with our satellites, we know where the oceans on Mars would be, because we have geographical signature of the planet. And as you can see, it's really attractive to go to Mars from this point of view. So it could be really a new fresh start for humanity if we don't pollute it from the start. And in a more long-term view, even more long-term view, the SpaceX program, excuse me, the SpaceX program want to reach Europa, one of the satellites of Jupiter. I've told you about in earlier week video. So we know that there's a lot of water on Europa, so it could be an idea for humanity to go there if we miss water on Earth or on Mars. So this is for it. This is it for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next week.